80% of falls in the home occur in the bathroom. Don't put yourself or a loved one at risk. There's a safe bathing system for everyone's budget.
Enjoy a bathing experience that combines safety, comfort, and excellence. If assisted living is not for you, a BCI walk-in tub may well be the answer, giving you the safety and freedom to live independently. A BCI walk-in tub is the most affordable and comfortable walk-in tub in the market today. With our dual drain technology, your tub will drain quickly, and for those that still like the feature of a shower, our two-way bliss gives you both a handheld and overhead shower head. We offer the best financing in the industry with payments as low as $99 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months with approved credit. For comfort, safety, price, and selection, it's got to be BCI Walk-In Tub. Be one of the first 50 callers and save $1,500.
Call 800-354-4377, 800-354-4377 for a free no obligation in-home consultation.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sports book. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we're going to crisscross the country going through a lot of the national and state sports betting reports. Although this week we're going to be focusing more on a couple state reports because we have a couple states reporting their fiscal year numbers.
Yes.
We even have a couple benchmarks, both one good and one not so good, but an expected not so good number.
Okay, all right.
Deal section, we have a couple deals to talk about. We've got a couple more terms from the MGM Major League Baseball expansion deal that just happened.
Okay.
We've got some other news from NASCAR. We've got more curling from PointsBet.
Curling, all right.
And another baseball deal for Jack Pocket.
You mentioned curling. That's, I forgot who we interviewed. I guess Greg Warren from Canada.
Yep.
He says that's a pretty big sport, and it's a pretty big betting activity.
Well, it seems to be a big
curling.
Big thing for PointsBet, especially PointsBet Canada.
All your curling news.
Over in the industry updates, we've got some news coming out of Colorado, Ohio, even Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to end the show with a legislative roundup like we normally do. We got some news coming out of Maryland, legislative-wise, D.C.,
all right.
Nevada, as well as, if we have time at the end, we've got some news coming out of 3 New England states.
Okay, all right.
But that's if we have time.
All right.
As always, keep the press releases coming in, info@turnpikesportsradio.com, and we will continue to update people every week on what's been going on in the sports betting industry. As always, we're going to start off with some numbers. Now, as I said at the top of the show, we had a couple states reporting their fiscal year sports betting numbers, and actually we have a state reporting their fiscal year combined market numbers, and that's Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania set a record.
Yes, they did.
They have generated $5.04 billion combined market in terms of revenue for the fiscal year.
Now, that's the first time they ever hit $5 billion, right?
That's the first time they hit $5 billion.
What a plateau, huh?
Well, last year was the record before this.
Sure,
last year they had, I believe it was $3.87 billion.
Well, that's what I mean. It wasn't even close. I mean,
well, if you think about
$2 billion. That's
$3.87.
That's a pretty big jump.
That's a pretty big jump. I mean, well, if you think about it, round up to 4, it's only $1 billion.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Is that
it's not that huge a jump.
When you're dealing,
kidding, by the way, I'm kidding.
When you're dealing with numbers like this, it's staggering.
It's almost like when you talk about pro athlete salaries. When you get past a certain point, it really doesn't matter. In terms of what the actual number is. But again, congratulations to Pennsylvania. 5.0. Let me get the number right again here. $5.04 billion in combined market revenue. Tax revenue, combined tax revenue for Pennsylvania, top $2 billion.
Yep. Well, that's the important thing for the state. That's why they do it.
That's another
tax revenue.
That's another first. The previous record was last year. Again, $1.59 billion.
Wow.
So they flew past that.
Sure.
The interesting thing with regard to Pennsylvania's tax numbers, I've always found it interesting. Pennsylvania had the record for most tax dollars coming in for sports betting up until New York.
Yep.
And New York has yet to have a football season.
That's true. They had New York started their mobile
January
sports betting
8th.
January 8th. So they
they
caught the
got-
very tail end. They got the playoffs and the
Exactly.
Super Bowl.
And right now, I mean, New York has been about $330 million for the year to date. The fiscal year to date, I should say. And it'll be interesting to see how much more tax revenue comes in during football season, because we're in the slowdown part of the sports calendar. But Pennsylvania combined revenue, their iGaming helped it.
Sure.
They had sports betting increased, and also table game revenue went up for them.
Good.
So that all combined, and also video gaming terminal markets. That's
Okay.
another one where the machines that are in like the truck stops, the restaurants. all that
I've
stuff.
yet to see one of those. I mean,
I
I
don't
really
go to
haven't.
truck stops too.
I haven't
often.
stopped at a truck stop in Pennsylvania, but maybe I'll make a point of it. But I haven't seen those yet.
But everything combined helped Pennsylvania set a new record. Speaking of fiscal year, we have New Hampshire reporting their fiscal year numbers, and this is their first full fiscal year with sports betting.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
They launched in October 2019.
Yeah. Forgive me. I don't really think too much about New
Yes.
Hampshire, so but great for them. Yeah.
So they're just to go through their numbers. They had in their first full fiscal year of sports betting, $861.1 million
all
in
right.
total handle.
All right.
670 was that online.
Mm-hmm.
And since this is New Hampshire, when you say online, you mean DraftKings.
Yeah, boy, DraftKings has a monopoly up there.
Yes,
There
was a state granted.
Yeah,
monopoly.
that's the only game in town.
Yeah, well, it's just like
When I say monopoly, I mean they're the only one there. I mean
it's just like Oregon. Oregon's the same way now since DraftKings took over for scoreboard.
Sure.
Total revenue for the fiscal year was $51.6 million. Online generated $44 million in terms of revenue. Tax numbers: $23.9 million total tax for online and retail. Again, $20.6 million in terms of online tax generated. And I believe that's a 51% tax rate as well, just like New York.
That's a crazy tax rate. I mean,
If it works for you, it works for you.
New York, you can get away with it. New York asking for something like that because, hey, we're New York, and you'll make money regardless of how much taxes you're spending. But that's those. You get beyond 50%. That's kind of crazy numbers.
Yes, and
wasn't there a southern state that wanted to do 51? Wasn't it Arkansas or something like that?
Had 51% on the books.
Okay.
I think even a couple other
I'm
states
sure it's
are
a great
looking at it.
state. I'm sure it's a great state with lots of great people, and it's a great place to live and do business. But 51%, really? You really asking for 51%?
Well, Florida had that on their books too.
Well, okay.
Remember they had the quote sports betting industry.
Did
for
you see how
a
I
month?
prefaced that by
Yes.
saying I'm sure it's a great state?
Oh yes. Well, again, if they want to do 51%
Yeah.
tax rate,
Let me tell you something. If you ask for it and you get it, good for you.
At
But you just
some
got to
point-
realize, 51%.
Well, again, New Hampshire is going to be kind of interesting to watch because they've got another company coming in. 603.com is another online sports betting operation coming in.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to be run by the I don't know.
Is that
I'm
the
not
area
sure.
code up in New
That's
Hampshire?
603 is the area
Okay.
code, yes.
Okay.
I keep seeing it when you go to the New Hampshire Lottery website, you
Okay.
see 603.com. And I keep saying
Now, it's not
coming
a
soon.
big state. Is that only one area code for the state?
That's only one area code. Well, no, there's a couple
There's
other
a couple
area
of
codes.
area codes in the state?
Because 603 was reserved for the landlines there.
Okay.
They have a couple mobile area codes.
Boy,
up
this
there.
is more than I wanted to know about New Hampshire.
We're doing
by
a
the way.
deep dive
Wow.
into New Hampshire.
Okay.
Here.
Boy, did we get
We're in
sidetracked in this one.
Well,
huh?
actually, we can't say we're in the weeds, and with New Hampshire, we're in the woods.
Yeah.
Let's move over to another New England state, Connecticut. They released their June numbers, and with those June numbers, they have now crossed the $1 billion mark in terms of all-time handle.
Yeah, which is great. What they started in October.
Yep.
Right? 9 months ago?
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, they were very, very close to hitting $1 billion in May. They were 15 million away. They had a handle that just blew past everything in terms of getting it past the $1 billion mark. So they are now now part of the $1 billion club.
Yeah, it's the population density. A lot of people, they're very close to New York City. I mean, a lot of people who work in New York City, just like New Jersey, they either commute to New Jersey or they commute from Connecticut. So there's a lot of people. We passed through Stamford or Samford or whatever. Stamford.
Right, with an M, not like the California town.
Stamford. It's right there.
Yep.
Yeah,
And, well,
right next to the border, New York border.
They still have plans to convert the XL Center in Hartford over to having a sports book.
Hartford's a big city too.
You also got Bridgeport's supposed to be a home to a betting center at some point. We'll see when that happens.
I think, what did they say in Connecticut? You will not live 30 miles away from a place where you can place a bet. So that was their goal.
You mean retail-wise?
Yeah, retail-wise.
Wherever you're sitting, you can place a bet.
Of course. Yeah. Well, retail-wise, they want to put a area or a place where it's not more than 30 minutes away from every person wherever they live in the state. So.
But again,
if I explained that right.
You explained it right. Let's finish up the numbers talking about New York. Now, I talked at the beginning of the show that we had a high point, which was the $1 billion mark for Connecticut.
Yep.
The not-so-good mark was New York this week.
Oh, okay.
For the week ending July 17th, they posted, the state itself, all the mobile operators together, posted the second lowest handle since the launch of the state's mobile sports betting industry.
Well, look, it's a slow time of the year.
This came very close to the partial week
in
January. The first partial week when they launched, they had $185 million in total handle. FanDuel, again, king, 41% of the share.
FanDuel is kicking ass in New York. Wow, they are just destroying it up there. It's great.
I found it very interesting when you looked at the top four in the state: FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM, in that order.
Yeah.
They made up 94% of the market share.
Wow.
So they have another 5 books that aren't doing too much.
Yeah.
But
again, they're not doing as well as
they've got their niches.
Which, by the way, might work out well for the consumers. These other books may be doing promos or bonuses that might benefit the customer, which is good, which is competition.
I know PointsBet was around $4 million. You had WinBet around, I think they got close to or just past $1 million in handle. So a lot of them are the smaller niche betting operators.
Hey, you're a Jets fan. Is WinBet still going to sponsor the Jets pregame? Weren't they?
I don't know yet.
I
don't know yet. I honestly do not know whether or not WinBet's going to be the Jets pregame sponsor. Okay. I haven't seen an announcement from the Jets of who the sponsor is. I know they're looking for one, supposedly.
Oh, okay. So they don't have one yet.
No,
okay.
that much I know. I don't know if they're actually.
No, I just mentioned you mentioned WinBet, so that's what I equate them with.
See, I always thought with the Fubo suite that they have up there, Fubo Sportsbook in the Meadowlands, I thought Fubo Sportsbook would be coming in as one of those sponsors.
Well, they got to launch in New Jersey first, I would think.
Yeah, at some point they will be soon, probably rather than later.
Sure, hope so.
But again, 94% of the market for those big four, FanDuel. And also, if you look back at the other states we talked about, you got Pennsylvania, Michigan. FanDuel's hitting about somewhere between 40 and 45% in every state.
Okay.
In terms of the online sports betting market. And it's just an incredible product. I know we're going to see some changes possibly in some market shares when it comes to Ohio and, maybe some of the other ones. Even if California ever gets, something going, maybe we'll see something change. But right now, FanDuel has a big lead over everybody. So that's it for the numbers. Let's talk some deals. In this week's deals section, we're going to start off with a NASCAR announcement. Kansas Speedway announced that the upcoming NASCAR Cup Series is going to be renamed the Hollywood Casino 400, presented by Barstool Sports.
Yeah, good.
Hollywood Casino is a partner with the racetrack, obviously, because they're rebranding it. And the casino is also building a retail book for Barstool, branded Barstool Sportsbook, on their property.
Yep.
So that was kind of big news. That it's Kansas Speedway is one of the big stops for NASCAR.
Sure.
And I'm wondering whether or not we're going to see a retail book at some point at the Speedway.
At the Speedway, I don't know about at the Speedway, but certainly I can't wait for the the Hollywood Casino, the Barstool at Hollywood Casino. That should be really good.
Yep. Yeah, Hollywood casinos, Penn Nationals are doing really good work with their retail property.
Yeah.
So, as I said at
That'd be a fun place to watch the race.
I'm curious to see if Massachusetts ends up getting sports betting anytime soon. They still got time to hammer out something, but I want to see if that one up there in the Penn National property up there in Massachusetts gets a retail book.
Yeah. Well, they have the what is it called? Plainville, Plain Ridge, something
Plain Ridge,
like that.
Casino, Plain Ridge Park Casino.
Yeah. Well, all the foyers, when you're walking through, you see the Barstool logo.
It's on the doors.
Yeah,
too.
you see the Barstool.
Yeah, the Barstool stool.
Yeah, Barstool stool.
So I'm curious just to see whether or not we're going to start seeing some of these all over the place.
Sure.
PointsBet, couple deals. They did a deal with the National Council on Problem Gambling.
Good.
They're going to be doing a series of surveys that would allow operators to understand how to identify problem gambling scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
But the important thing is PointsBet is getting back into curling again.
Curling.
Curling with PointsBet. PointsBet Canada announced a deal with Canada's Boccia curling team. I want to get the name right.
All right.
It's one of the professional teams for curling, and PointsBet's becoming like the curling go-to company.
Yeah, well, curling's huge in Canada apparently. So I guess it's televised all the time. Well, I don't know where I would watch it down here in the United States, but
probably at some point you'll be able to watch it through PointsBet.
Maybe they stream it. That'd be a great sport to stream.
Well, PointsBet, this is the third curling deal for PointsBet in Canada.
Oh wow, okay. They are the curling leaders, huh?
The curling team. But before this, they had a deal with Curling Canada, which is the organization that controls curling.
Wow, okay. All right.
One of, I should say. And also they are the lead sponsor of a new curling event, the PointsBet Invitational.
Oh, okay.
And that's just another competition between all the different curling. It's sort of like the Olympic primer kind of thing. I'm not too familiar with the curling industry.
I don't know the rules of I know when I see it, but I don't know the rules of curling. I don't know if is there like a Michael Jordan of curling? Is there some really big athlete that's is he some face of the sport? I don't know. I don't know too much about curling.
The guy's named Boccia. I think that would tell you he's probably one of the big names.
All right, okay.
That's his team. So
okay,
yeah.
All right.
BetMGM, we talked about some of this last week, more along the lines of the hotel deal between MGM and Major League Baseball. But part of the deal was BetMGM had an extension and renewal of their sports betting deal with Major League Baseball. BetMGM is going to be able to market across the United States, across all MLB platforms. Also, they're going to get an enhanced statistical data stream from Major League Baseball for their baseball betting options. And MGM Resorts is now going to be the presenting sponsor of Bettor's Eye, which is the betting show on MLB.TV.
Okay.
Actually, I've seen that. It's actually a very good show.
What is MLB Network?
No, it's MLB.TV. It's
okay,
internet.
It's an internet.
It's
streaming.
actually even if you go to Twitter, even they actually show it through their Twitter handle.
Okay,
So
all right, I'll check it out.
I've seen parts of it, and it's actually a very, very good show for betting.
Good.
Jack Pocket, like I said, staying with Major League Baseball here. They did their. Let me get this number right. This is their fourth deal with a Major League Baseball team, as Jack Pocket announced a deal with the New York Mets.
Yeah, I heard this. Yeah.
Official digital lottery partner of the Mets. Jack Pocket will be able to use the Mets IP, trademarks, logos, for both online and offline marketing.
Okay.
Usual kind of deal for Jack Pocket. They're going to give Mets fans a code. They're going to get a free lottery ticket when they sign up. They're going to be doing giveaways for trips on the road.
Wow.
Road trips.
Oh, okay.
Round-trip air travel, which would be included, and hotel accommodations,
wow,
which is
cool.
amazing for a New York giveaway.
Yeah, no, that's great.
They're also going to be doing giveaways for memorabilia from the Mets.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly if it's going to be historic Mets memorabilia
Okay.
or current Mets memorabilia, but it'll be officially licensed memorabilia.
Okay.
So like I said, this is the fourth baseball partnership. They did Twins, Rangers, Rockies.
Okay.
So now they're with the Mets. It's the 8th overall sports partnership, though.
Okay.
The 4 baseball teams, they've also got an MLS deal. They've got an NHL deal. They've got some college deals. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
And
No, you see them all over the place.
It's very interesting to see exactly how Jack Pocket is expanding. I just saw a couple brand new commercials from them on TV.
I heard some on the radio too.
And they are pretty good. I think they're almost in just about every state now.
I don't know
I think
exactly
they're like
what
35,
states.
40 states.
I know they're certainly here on the East Coast,
Yes.
but I'm not sure what states they're. They could be all of them, for all I know. So.
Well, that's it for this week's deals. Let's head on over to some industry updates. This week's industry updates, we're going to start off with an update from Colorado. This is one of the sports books, and it's kind of interesting to see this because Bet365 was supposed to be launching earlier this year. Then they pushed it back.
In Colorado?
In Colorado.
Okay.
And then they pushed it back. And then now it comes out that Century Casino CEO Peter Hetzinger stated that they're going to be launching September 1st now.
Okay. Bet365,
Bet365
September 1st, Colorado.
Will be Colorado's 28th
Wow.
online sports book. Jersey's only got about 2021.
No, I think we have more than that.
They're going to have more coming online soon,
I
but
thought-
right now they're about 2021.
I thought we had 24, 25, something like that.
Well, they have licensed, but nothing's,
Okay.
they're not launching. You got Profit coming down the road. We got Play Up doing some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whole bunch of other ones are coming up too. So, right now, Colorado leads the league. Put it that way.
Yeah,
Right now,
yeah,
they're
no.
at 27.
That's a hell of a market. Actually, I hear a lot of sports bettors who live in Las Vegas are moving or betting in Colorado because they have more options, more
Yes.
choices, a better menu, and so
And no
so it's
in-person
great
registration.
Yeah,
either.
no, well, Colorado's great.
But again, it's kind of interesting. No, other than the Century Casino CEO, Bet365 has not commented on what the delay is. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what's going on with Bet365. If something else, they may not be the 28th. Between now and September 1st, you may see one or two others pop up.
Yeah.
So we may see.
Because we got that benchmark coming up. That's the start of the football season.
Exactly.
So that's the if you want to start a sports book, that's what everyone eyes. You got the start of this football season. In October, you have the World Series. So,
Well, speaking of the start of football season, one state will not be launching by the time football season starts, and that's Ohio.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to give you a quick update on some of the different licenses that are out there right now that have been applied for. Ohio, right now, if everything launches the way it's applied for, Ohio will match Arizona in terms of the most retail sports books in pro sports stadiums.
Okay.
Right now, Ohio is looking to launch 8.
Wow. Okay.
We've got Bally's with the Browns, Bet365 with the Guardians. I'm still not used to saying Guardians. I want to say Indians all the time, but Betfred with the Bengals. Fanatics has the Columbus Blue Jackets. Fubo has Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay.
Sportsbook, Football Club Cincy, the Major League Soccer team there.
All right.
Tipico, Columbus Crew, and Underdog with Cincinnati Reds.
Okay. All right.
It's,
I see a lot of underdog fantasy television commercials in New Jersey. So, they're making a name for themselves.
So those are the partnerships between the teams and the books.
Okay.
In-stadium books. Those were the mobile deals. This is in-stadium.
For Ohio, right?
For Ohio. Kind of interesting. Fanatics has filed for 2 retail licenses.
Okay.
with 2 different teams. We may see 2 Fanatics retail books in those stadiums. Kind of interesting to see exactly Fanatics making these moves right away. They haven't launched anywhere.
Well, now's the time to do it. I think Ohio's going to be a great market. I mean,
Ohio's
they
going
have
to be a huge market.
So many teams, college and pro, in all sports. So I think it's a great state, great sports betting market.
And Penn National made the announcement that they're going to be opening retail books in all 4 of their locations in Ohio.
Wow. Okay.
Let's see. They got one in Columbus, one in Dayton, the Mahoning Valley, and Toledo.
Okay.
So between Penn National and Jack Entertainment, we're going to see a whole bunch of new retail books.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be great.
I actually saw some of the footage of Jack Entertainment building their sports book.
Okay.
In the Cleveland property. It looks like that is going to be a really nice property once the book is.
So they're building it right now.
They're building it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Now
right.
they're expecting and anticipating everything's a go.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Everything is a go, and I can't wait. I mean, well, I'm surprised it's still January 1st. First off, January 1st is going to be incredible in Ohio for sports betting.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
I'm sure there's some bowl games too that people can really jump on and bet right away. But I'm very surprised that they haven't tried to push up the date, just to get a little bit of the football season.
I've actually been thinking about that, and maybe the idea is not just to be patient and get everything ready, get all the ducks
Certainly
in a row.
they want to get everything right and get everything
But maybe
proper
they're
in place.
anticipating more betting on the bowl season
Well, yeah,
than
probably.
maybe the beginning of with the first football season.
Yeah.
I don't see that really, but maybe they've done enough research that January 1st, with all the bowl games around it and even the Super Bowl, the playoffs, maybe there's an added emphasis for that.
Sure.
That may be just making them say we can wait.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But Ohio's very interesting.
And last but not least, we have Caesars Racebook. They have launched in Kentucky. That is now the 6th state Caesars Racebook is live in. They've launched in Florida, Ohio, Indiana, Oregon, Montana, and now Kentucky for horse racing.
For horse racing, it's the race book. I'm dying for Caesars to come in New Jersey for the online race book. I mean, I'm very curious to see if it would be a shared wallet with the Caesars sports book, but I'm very curious to see it. I can't wait for it to get to New Jersey. I'm not hearing it coming to New Jersey yet. I'm not hearing any reports about it, but
well, there may be something to do with New Jersey and New York in terms of Naira bets. Since that's their partner, maybe there's something they're trying to work out.
I don't know.
But again,
I would love, and I have not placed any bets on horse racing online ever. Really,
well,
I just do that.
Twin Spires is still around for horse racing.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering if not the Naira bets issue may be something to do with New Jersey, New York.
Who knows?
Maybe there's an agreement in place where they're trying to transfer platforms or something. I don't know.
I haven't heard of anything like that, so I'm just waiting to.
Because I know BetMGM even has a partnership with Naira Bets.
That's my goal.
I haven't seen that yet.
Is to have a sports book and a race book with a shared wallet, which would so I don't have to register for another race book or anything like that.
It's kind of interesting because you also have Caesars with WSOP.
Sure.
Because every time I open up the app now, I see WSOP.
Yeah,
there.
World Series of Poker. Yep.
And so maybe we'll start seeing the race book at some point. But again, like I said, I just wonder if the Naira Bets angle for New Jersey and New York is maybe the, I don't want to say a stumbling block, but maybe the cause for a delay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens there. Let's move on to some legislative updates. We're going to end the show this week with our normal legislative roundup. We've got some news coming out of Maryland, Nevada, D.C., and like I said at the top of the show, if we have time, we're going to talk about some news coming out of 3 New England states as well. Starting off in Maryland, the Sports Wagering Application Review Commission, or SWARC, as they refer to themselves,
Okay.
Finally approved draft online sports betting applications and regulations.
Okay.
So that is moving forward, baby steps.
Any date on Maryland?
No
yet?
date yet.
No date yet.
I don't think they're going to be ready for football, if that's what you're saying.
All right.
They're not going to be ready by September.
Okay.
So They have just approved.
And this is for mobile sports betting. This is what we're talking about.
They have retail already,
They have retail, but no mobile.
Right. But they approved the online sports betting application and regulations, but also the draft regulations for sports betting licenses for retail facilities.
Okay.
The draft application registrations now go to the state's Joint Committee on Administrative and Executive and Legislative Review. So you're talking, unless they fast-track this, honestly, once it even gets through that part, they say they're going to go for emergency approval.
I don't know. Boy, the way Maryland's moving, I don't even know if they're going to reach January 1st.
They're not going to reach January 1st.
Boy.
Unless something really, really changes, because even after this emergency approval by the Joint Committee, it's still going to go 30 days of public review.
Now, didn't the governor of Maryland actually send a letter to them?
Yeah,
and
that was
said,
wasted ink.
Hey, you know what? Can you move it along a little bit?
No, that was wasted ink. So that's I don't know if it did any good. Maybe it got them to this point, but I don't see them launching for football season.
Can you imagine if the governor didn't send the letter? Maybe we wouldn't even have this update.
That's what's amazing about Maryland. So going over to Nevada, everyone's talking about esports betting, and Nevada's Esports Technical Advisory Committee had their second meeting. And in their second meeting, they said in their third meeting, they're going to start drafting recommendations.
All right.
So obviously the second meeting was just, hey, how you doing? Mm-hmm. Let's hear from some of these aspects of the industry.
And let me tell you something. Esports is big in Las Vegas. I mean, the Luxor is one of the homes for esports.
The big question they're encountering from a lot of the regulatory side of things is whether or not esports betting falls under the current betting regulations.
Okay.
So they've got to look at exactly what they have to draft or not draft, or whether or not there's an amendment needed to be done to the gaming laws or to the Constitution, something like that. So what they're going to be doing is they're just going to take a look at the testimonies they received in the second hearing and start formulating recommendations to the Gaming Control Board, the Gaming Commission, and then start slowly moving ahead with esports betting in the state of Nevada. D.C., I think the best way to summarize this roundtable that they had from the councils of District of Columbia, they're unhappy with Gambit.
Okay.
They've been unhappy with Gambit.
All right.
Not just in terms of it's not churning out the money that the Intralot had said when they got the contract to do this. They were down during the Super Bowl.
Okay. Yeah, that
killed them.
That's bad.
And it's just they're not delivering. And also this past year, supposedly, they were $4 million in the red in terms of overall performance.
Can you imagine that being down during the Super Bowl, one of the betting events of the year, and a sportsbook is down?
Well,
I think they were down the entire time, but they went down a little bit.
They were down.
That must be like overloaded or something.
They were down on one of the platforms, Apple or Android.
Yeah,
they were down
that.
on that, but they were still functioning on the website.
Sure, they were functioning,
So,
but
2/3 of it was still running.
Yeah.
1/3 was not running, which pissed off a lot of people.
In such a big betting event like the Super Bowl, you can't have that.
I can't.
I mean, just the volume. I mean, it's not their fault, but it's a terrible bad luck.
That's the point. What you just said. The volume. Of betting.
It's just the volume,
and it's just one of those situations where maybe they just didn't have the bandwidth necessary to handle it.
Who knows? Well, I'm sure they'll figure it out. I'm sure they did figure it out.
According to one member of the council, things are going to start to change because there's going to be an update to the platform for Gambit, which is going to make it more in line with the odds and markets around the country.
Okay.
That was one of the problems with Gambit's system. They had one set of odds that just didn't make sense.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
They weren't consumer friendly odds.
Okay.
Put it that way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a little bit of time left. Let me do Maine real quick.
Maine, okay.
Yeah, Massachusetts, let me do it this way. Massachusetts, they're hoping to get something done July 31st. Vermont's doing a study. Another study.
Doing a study.
And actually, this one was the result of an illegal gambling operation that was uncovered in the state.
Okay.
So they are issuing a new study to look at doing sports betting. And Maine, they have the deal in place for sports betting to be done in the state. One of the U.S. representatives from Maine filed an amendment to a national bill to give the Maine tribes the same rights as all national tribes.
Okay.
They have limited rights for the Native American
Interesting,
tribes, the
yeah.
Wabanaki.
Okay,
in Maine,
I'm not familiar with the compact that they have, but that's an interesting point.
So they're going to be trying to expand the rights of the Wabanaki Indians up there, and we'll see exactly what happens there because the governor has been refusing to expand their rights.
Okay, interesting.
So I don't know exactly the nuts and bolts of everything.
Yeah,
but it does affect the sports betting deal.
Okay.
That's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Keep the press releases coming in, info@turnpikesportsradio.com, and we'll keep updating you week to week here on the Book Report.
And that'll do for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.